Alright, so we got students for the DAI. And the Gladiator is actually not an AI I've seen a whole lot. So some of you might know how Gladiator plays. But Gladiator is one of Rorik's AIs. And a newer one, I think. So I'll be able to check out his strategy. But in the meantime, taking a look at here, the DAI, we'll see what kind of strategy it goes for. Maybe a Man-at-Arms rush, maybe a Scout rush. But we got a Lumber Camp coming in, Boar coming in, got a Deer Arabia. Forage bushes, but otherwise things are mostly defensive for the DAI. No forest in the front, so it's quite open at the front of the base. Meanwhile, Gladiator's base is pretty closed and easy to defend, but has a forward gold that could be denied. We got some deer hunting, deer pushing from Gladiator. I think that's actually happening before the deer lure. So that means I think that Gladiator's not going to have a whole lot of exploring happening. But this gives a bit of early food boost, which is important because the Gladiator hadn't found the boar yet. So it's nice that the Gladiator has that flexibility. And so DI skipped Loom. Gladiator did as well. But Gladiator had some idle TC time, unfortunately. So the Gladiator's behind for a bit right now. Yeah, so it looks like from the chat that Gladiator's a big arena AI. I know Vagabond is as well. Oh, it looks like we got a idle scout here from the DAI. It doesn't look like it's bugging out either. It just went idle. Hopefully that it fixes itself. That's going to be really important for the DAI. But it looks like the DAI is trying to do a drush here. But let's see, so the DAI has not found Gladiator yet. So that's be kind of rough. But we got the scout is no longer idle. But we got the militia going forward. Or at least they were. Let's see. Okay, so they're going. Switch over to Gladiator's perspective. So looks like we got a long distance boar lure. That's not great. Let's see, do we have any villagers that are going to come in and try to take the boar in? Doesn't look like it. But we've got the militia here. Along with the scout. Just running past each other. We got a good old AI gathering 11 foragers. Gathering for forage bushes. Mining camp for stone, so we might see a castle drop with Karambit warriors. That's going to be my guess. But the mining camp was denied. Let's see if we got one going up in the back here. And we got the TC garrisons. Are we going to kill off any? Okay, we got to kill off a militia. 2 militia. And no villager kills for the DAI. So far so good for Gladiator. So DAI is adding some man-at-arms, or at least it's gonna, looks like it's gonna go for man-at-arms. And 26 villager feudal. Even with the drush, that feels rather late to me. And kind of a bummer for the DAI. Missed 3 of its sheep. 3 pigs just grunting there, happy that they're alive. We'll see how long that lasts. But we got a scout from DI keeping Gladiator's TC idle. Or rather, putting the villagers in the TC. So we got the DA up to feudal age. No man-at-arms yet, but we got the eco upgrades coming. Alright, adding a stable, so we might add some scouts here. Or maybe the DEA will go up to Castle Age instead. Just going back and forth with the scout and the militia. Got a blacksmith for Gladiator. I'm expecting a market, but I'm not seeing it yet. Don't have the resources. And do we have another building for a Gladiator? There's a market. But it might be blocked by the DAI. Yep. Alright, so market built in a better spot here. But, okay, that was the first villager kill for the DAI. So, at least the drush paid off a tiny bit. Still probably not worth it. 1 villager's not much at all. And not a whole lot of idle eco time either. Wheelbarrow for the DAI. Still able to idle some of the villagers, but not really causing any damage. Alright, we got a stable for Gladiator. Maybe battle elephants? That's another thing I can think of with melee. So, we got a mining camp for stone. But no villagers gathering stone, so I'm going to guess battle elephants. Maybe with a castle as backup. And the Teutons have the extra melee armor, but that's not going to do a whole lot against battle elephants. Let's see if that's... Yep, that's what Gladiator's going for. So we might have some knights coming from the DEAI. We got a Castle Age coming up right now. So Gladiator's going to have a little bit of a window here. There's those battle elephants. And the drush is over. Curious on the economy, so the DEI is pulling up a bit ahead. Despite having fewer villagers. Maybe just the... Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what is pulling the DEI's economy ahead. The +1 armor coming for both of them, and here we go. We got some battle elephants charging forward. And no military to defend for the DAI. But we've got a second TC coming. And we got a monastery. So this might be a good response from DAI. Yeah, also got a spear. So a bunch of the idle TC, like garrison TC time for the DAI. But it seems like these battle elephants might be killed off and the attack ended. Alright. We might be converting the battle elephant. Looks like it's trying to convert the weak one, unfortunately. Alright, there we go. This battle elephant might be trying to kill off this monk. Okay, so here we go. So the gladiator battle elephant should win. We got some more reinforcements here. So if gladiator can keep the TC garrisoned, then they might be able to cause some long-term damage for the DAI. Pikemen coming in. So in theory, like the monks and the pikemen should be enough to hold this off, but we have a bunch of battle elephants continuing to come in from gladiator. We've got, how many stables we got? We've got 2 stables, which is pretty good. Seems to be enough to keep these battle elephants churning out because of the melee bonus. Yeah, it looks like that we got a building that was taken out. It was probably a barracks that was on the way. So this barracks might go up, but that TC is damaged pretty hard. And it's looking like Gladiator's going to be pulling ahead here. Taking a look at the eco, definitely a big difference. Just look at all of the difference that the attack is making. And this TC is definitely not going to be able to take out all of these battle elephants. I think once this TC goes down, I think I'll call it. I don't think the DAI has a lot of resign rules. Or like, maybe like once the DI goes below 20 pops, something like that. By archery range. Soon by pikemen. Yep, by pikemen. Okay, I think I'm going to call it here. That's a win for the gladiator. So let's looking at the stats here. We already saw the eco difference. Military, pretty big there. Alright, then back to the game. Let's quickly look at the game scores. Alright, now for the arena game, which should be Gladiator's strong suit. And now let's see, looking at the Gladiator civs, the Gladiator for arena is Cumans or Portuguese. Alright, and the DAI gets Celts and Portuguese for the Gladiator. Definitely a civ advantage for Gladiator, I think. The Celts have the good mangonels, which can fend off the organ guns, but I don't know if the DAI will go for those or not. And then Gladiator's got 1 point. Alright, so looks like we got a chicken arena. And so we got Gladiator getting the goose, while the DAI is doing the same. We got a lumber camp for the DAI. And the same for Gladiator. Still needs to find these 2 last goose. So Gladiator might be going for organ guns if I'm gonna guess this arena strategy. So thankfully for the DAI, we've got the gold and the stone roughly like in a defensible position. They're not back, but they're not forward. Only the forage bushes are really forward. So if the DAI needs to defend himself in a pinch, he can probably do it. And then meanwhile, Gladiator, I'm not sure if Gladiator will be ever on the defensive, since I think the DI likes to boom. But I've got backward gold or backward stone, forward gold. We also got a second gold in the back, which can be taken. So I'm curious to see if Gladiator will take the chickens or not, if they'll put a mill, or if maybe he'll try to push them. Hopefully not. I think Gladiator probably would have some code to avoid the chickens, with not try to push them in with a scout. Alright, got a mill for the DAI and second lumber camp. And we got a forager. Let's see if Gladiator will add a mill anytime soon. Yep, there we go. So Celts are probably not one of the... We've got a decent economy, but not really the kind of city you want for arena, I think. So not the best random pick for the DAI. We'll see if Gladiator uses this little place in the back. Probably will need it. The DAI has a similar spot here. So far, it doesn't look like the DAI is taking the chickens at all, but might take them later. Still has plenty of goose and boar to take. The Gladiator's almost finished with the boar. Might see most of them go and gather forage bushes here soon. So we got a gold miner and a gold mining camp going up here. And so we might see Gladiator going up to feudal age relatively soon. We've got the DAI kind of following suit here. Looks like the DI has been a bit more efficient with resource gathering. Oh. We've got some like long distance chicken gathering here. We'll see if the DAI builds a mill, but I'm not sure if it will. I think it's debatable, according to some people, whether or not the mill is worth it. Usually depends on the number of chickens, I think. But we've got 8 chickens per player. But the DEAI is the first one to start going to the feudal age. We'll see how long it takes for Gladiator to start going up. If it'll go up in 29 pop or not. Not yet. Take a look at scatting here. So, looks like Gladiator hasn't found the DEAI yet, while the DEAI has. Kind of looks like the DEI might have gone for a search for the pocket kind of action here. Just going straight across to the opposite part of the map. Worked well enough for this game. Alright, market and blacksmith. So DEI is definitely going for a boom. Which, if Gladiator goes for organ guns, we could definitely punish it here. No stone mining camp starting yet for Gladiator. So I could be wrong about it going for a castle into organ guns. Got a market, a couple houses, and a blacksmith. The blacksmith built kind of far away. Could have built a bit closer to the town center. The DEI will be first to Castle Age. We got some long distance stone gathering. So we could also see a castle drop, possibly. Water Raiders might be fine, but they won't be great. Not for Arena. They're stronger than you think they are in Castle Age, though. They're pretty good for a Castle Age infantry unit. Castle Age coming for Gladiator. And still no stone gathering, so I'm not sure if Gladiator is going to go for a castle this game. Yeah, no problem. I hope you enjoy your meal. This game is always great for having like a little casual entertainment. So, yeah, good point about this strategy. So defensive castle and unique units, so it makes sense. Seems like the DI is going for a good build here. Two town centers will be followed up by a castle here pretty soon. And it's still uncertain what Gladiator's going to go for. It's definitely not Battle Elephants. But just judging by the resources, it might be a Fast Imperial. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. University Monastery. Yeah, you can see I'm figuring out Gladiator for the first time here. So the other civilization that Gladiator plays, besides Portuguese, was, just taking a look here, Cumans. So that might be a kind of a boom into Imperial Age. They could also be doing that kind of build. Just waiting for the gold here for Gladiator. I think after this villager, Gladiator might be going up to Imperial Age. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we got infantry armor coming in. Interesting. Got a... This might be the first monk of the game. I don't know if Gladiator will go for Swordsman. Wouldn't be the worst pick with Portuguese. I forget if Portuguese get gambesons. But, okay, we got a castle here, so we might see a castle coming. I'm curious why we get the infantry upgrades, unless it's for maybe for halberdiers to defend the organ guns, I'm not sure. But DAI is definitely ahead on eco here. No unique units yet for the DAI. And DI's scout is stuck inside. We'll see how long it decides to chop at this wall. Maybe he'll eventually free himself. Alright, so we got Scout Mail for World Raiders. And the first real unit, military unit of the game, right here. In low resolution. To protect the stream quality. Oh! Let's see. Is that going to deny the relic? Yep. So that scout actually gets some good quality action in here. Alright, so we got an archer range. So we got a castle and organ guns. So I'm curious to see if we'll be adding in hand cannoneers. I don't think infantry will be a big... I guess if Celts infantry would be a good thing to have hand cannoneers to protect against. But we've got organ guns in the field, and this is pre-nerf that might be coming to the organ guns in the next patch. Alright, got Federios. That scout cannot kill the monk. I think those organ guns are going to kill off the scout. Yep, there we go. We got foraging coming in for the DAI. Got 11 Wood Raiders, I think. Yep, just non-elite. Got 2 organ guns. So the DEI has the advantage right now, just in terms of military numbers. But we'll see if the Imperial Age can kind of give Gladiator the advantage that he needs. And of course the DI is not even in Imperial Age yet, so of course these are still Castle Age Wood Raiders. But the DI is definitely on a clock here. We'll need to start attacking before these Federias get up and start giving the Portuguese unlimited resources. So we got Imperial Age coming for the DAI. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm able to check if Gladiators got in chemistry yet. I'm curious to see if maybe some hand cannoneers will come eventually. Long distance stone mining. Be nice to build a mining camp here. Got the wood for it. So Gladiator got 4 relics and the DAI got 1. Better than 0. Okay, so we got Scorpions, which will be added to the World Raiders. Gladiator doing the classic, the classic quote. Alright, so we got chemistry coming, along with another Federia and a bunch of houses. So I'm curious what the economy is looking like at this point for both AIs. So DI is still climbing ahead, but Gladiator's eco is trending upward. But right now the DI has the advantage, definitely in terms of numbers of units. If it added a bunch of siege, then I think it'd be able to cause some damage, and not just scorpions. Well, as I say siege, added a whole bunch of siege workshops, but I don't know if these are for scorpions or not. If they're for rams, perhaps that would be something good to add. And I saw one of the unique techs come in. Yep, I think the M tech just came in. Alright, got some cannons. Elite upgrades coming. It's still in the non-elite organ guns for Gladiator. Alright, so we got the elite blood raiders and heavy scorpions. I think we're just waiting for the DI to get full pop capped, and then maybe also get some heavy siege. I will say, like, besides this tower going up, we got a tower here. Yeah, look, the DI's window might be closing here, but right before I saw these towers go up like this, the pathway to Gladiator's town center was actually pretty undefended. Alright, so here we go. First battle of the game. Move the villagers here, so DI is able to take out most of the defense units that Gladiator had. So let's see if these bomber towers can hold. Got a trebuchet for the DAI, which could be really important here. I think this, with the trebuchet, this might be enough for the DAI. Let's see. But it's not every day that you see a defensive AI like this. So we got 8 bomber towers. The castle is almost down. This bomber tower is going to go down. And Gladiator's not really able to get the reinforcements that he needs. This makes me curious of like how Gladiator plays Cubans, because that could definitely be another like Fast Imperial Arena AI, but definitely it's not going to make Vaderiyas and bomber towers. It's got to be a different strategy that it uses. So we got 11 bomber towers here. Yeah, I think it shows something important that looks like Gladiator just is getting to a positive KD. even with bomber towers killing off units and not losing any units much at all, it kind of shows that Gladiator's not really making headway, that the DI is kind of making headway against Gladiator. Might take a while to knock down the bomber towers, but DI's got the advantage here. Failed castle. And DI is breaking through. Total of 4 Federias. One of them is going to get lost pretty soon here. Once the Gladiator loses the Federias, it's going to be game over. It's probably game over right now, unfortunately. But I'm going to let it go a little bit longer. Alright, I think that is GG. By the ultimate rules, I think below 2 pop is resigned automatically anyway. So, good game for the DAI. Switch back to the bracket here.